Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of ZoukCast. And as every week we have here my friend and co-host Nymph. How you doing, Nymph?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. You can see I'm having also a scarf like you do. It's like my little homage for you.
Nice.
Of course, I have to say hi to my friend Saud from Oman. He was the one that gave me the scarf. Really nice,
Yeah, cool.
really nice Arabic scarf. You know, you can do also this thing in your head.
Like the Arabian.
A turban, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nice. So this week we have as a special guest Remy. How you doing, Remy?
Hey Antonio, how are you doing? I'm great. I'm doing fine. I was just wondering, Antonio, should I get a scarf?
Well, last week we had the sunglasses with Juanita. Today it is the scarfing, but I don't know, it's just casual things.
I have many scarves, sunglasses, also no problem. Whatever.
Okay, so the subject for tonight is Zouk evolution, Zouk future, and what we should do to make Zouk more successful. But first, I want to let you do a little bit of introduction of yourself. So explain to us how did you came to be into Zouk and what have you been doing, what are you doing currently now, whatever you want to people to know about you.
Shall I start or?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks for the. First of all, thank you for having me. It's a very nice opportunity to discuss. Now we do it through a screen, but you know that we can discuss the subject for hours and hours on any party and any Zouk congress, like we already did.
Yeah.
So people who don't know me, I'm Remy. I'm a Zouk addict, and I've been this for almost 5 years, I guess. First congress was Berlin, where I also met you, and been dancing like 3-4 times a week now. But at the beginning it was even every day. And before that, I was doing a lot of salsa. And before that, but that's a long time ago when I was still young. I'm not young, but I used to be young sometimes. It actually happened. I did ballroom a long time ago. I'm also active, having a small little school, Zouk school, and also I'm active with the International Zouk Flash Mob, as you know. And the whole purpose of that project is to get Zouk into places where they don't know about it, to create communities, to create small communities, and it's working. So this is what I'm active about in Zouk.
Nice. So we had a very interesting conversation during the after parties of the Dutch Congress, and you told me you had some ideas about how Zouk should evolve, or how we could help Zouk to be more known by changing it a little bit, the current status of the Zouk scene. So what are your ideas about that?
Yeah, of course it's an interesting subject, and if you watch Facebook for a while, you see that a lot of people having this similar kind of conversations. And the funny thing is, I also do other stuff. I do also Argentine tango, and sometimes I'm on bachata sites, and I notice the same discussions. So nothing new, nothing strange about Zouk. They have the same discussion. This is not tango. This is not, but you know it. I would say that there are 3 things. First of all, we have to dance. And the second thing is the marketing. And the third thing is the teaching. And then I made a sort of analysis for the market situation in Holland and the market situation worldwide. I wrote a marketing plan. I was discussing this with some people. And you can divide it into, we have a current situation, so what is going on right now, and what could be a solution. So I will not pretend I have the answers, and who am I? But of course, it's interesting to discuss and have some ideas.
Yeah.
So if you look at current situation, you see that what distinguishes Zouk from other styles. Why are other styles less or more successful? And of course the question is, what is success? Is Kizomba successful? because the number of people dancing it.
I guess that many people would say they are successful.
Yeah. So there are more dancers doing kizomba. So if that is a criterion, then yes.
No.
I'm not here to mock other styles, but we can learn from other styles like tango, salsa, kizomba, ballroom, whatever. What do they do good? What is there to improve? What can we learn from it? What can we learn from a success like Zumba, for instance? What they do. And your subtitle was should we simplify?
Yeah, because when I talk with many people, the first problem that they see on Zouk is the overwhelming complexity of the dance. Like for example, on episode 4, we talked with Alex Alberola from Sensual Bachata, and he was saying that maybe we should try to simplify the dance, at least for the beginners or the first levels, so more people would feel like able to dance and not scared away.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with it because it's about accessibility. Not everybody wants to be a gorgeous or a fantastic dancer. For a big number of people, it's just about having the fun and being attracted to the dance, but also not to be scared by the dance. So I agree with this person that I forgot his name. Whatever, the bachata guy. That at the fundamentals, at the basic levels, I think it's probably a good idea to simplify it and to make some kind of standard, not as strict as ballroom, because at one hand we must observe that one of the qualities of Zouk is flow, variety, and creativity. It gives room. It gives freedom and room to be creative, to improvise. But not everybody can handle that. So if you are on fundamental, on basic levels, I think we should have like fundament which is standardized. And on top of these fundaments, we can have pillars for more advanced people, like Neo Zouk, like Flow Zouk, like Rio, like Lama, like R&B, whatever. But these standard fundaments should be the same for everybody, so everybody in the whole world can dance in an easy way and quickly enter this wonderful dance. If they get triggered and fall in love, they can do more and they will find out more possibilities and more fantastic creative sub-styles of dance. But I think the basic of Zouk should be standardized, not limited, but somehow standardized. Yeah.
But then there's the problem of the different techniques that there are on Zouk. Like for example, I was a student of the M-Zouk technique. From the very fundamental technique, M-Zouk is very technical. It's way more technical than most of the other styles or techniques. So how can you make a standard base for all the different techniques if they are so different? You know?
That's a good question. Once you have identified the problem, if it's the problem, once you have identified the problem, then the solution is the next phase, and the solution is probably even more difficult than the problem. So I think it's better to not have too many detailed techniques, but at least I think 2 criteria should be used at fundamental. It should be easy accessible, so everybody can learn quick. It should be safe, so we need safe techniques, and it should be pleasant. These are the 3 criteria which to use in dance. And I think I don't know M-Zouk, but if it's so technical, and I can think, I'm also doing tango, it's very technical, it's very difficult. So they make, in Argentine tango, they create a very good fundament, which is the walk. Walk, 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 walk. You can train hours for walking, and this creates your conscience about your axis. Where's your axis? Once you have your axis, you have balance. Once you have balance, you can do more complicated stuff. So this is their fundament. So I think if you look at Zouk, Brazilian Zouk, I mean, you can see that if a dancer is really good, it's so beautiful. It's no dance like it. If you dance with connection, it's also the dance. Nothing feels like it. It's pure happiness.
Yeah.
But it should be at some level accessible for a broader audience, a broader target group. Therefore, it should be a little bit more simple at the basis. And therefore, I think it's necessary to create consensus about it. What is this basis? What are these fundamental techniques and figures?
Yeah, but I see your point, but also I see some contradictory principles. Like, for example, as you talk about tango, like the walk, 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 and then you have. I would translate walk for work into the technique, like work, 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 and then you will have a proper proper basis for dancing. So that usually goes against the accessibility because people, they don't want to work so much for a basic level.
You want a quick fix. Yeah.
So that's the two opposing forces that we find. How can we reconcile those forces?
This is a good point. So Argentine Tango chose a different solution, a different path. So I'm not saying we should walk, 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 and also maybe not even work, 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 but at least we should simplify to make it more accessible. Look at Kizomba. I'm not very impressed by the dance, sorry. I used to dance it even before Zouk. And when you look at it, it's, okay, you do 3 workshops or do 2 courses, you can hit the floor and it looks okay. For Zouk, it takes 2 years to master it a bit. When you're a little bit more talented or you have a specific background, it can go faster, but it takes at least, even the good dancers takes a year.
You know that Kizomberos would say like, okay, Kizomba, it also takes some time because the thing is on the inside, not on the outside. You know, that's the thing they say. So
ask one Tanguero, only one, what do you think about Kizomba, but that's another discussion. Okay. Forget about it, but what I say is that, of course, there are advanced techniques, leading techniques, especially with the chest in Kizomba, which they borrowed from Tango. But it can be advanced, and it can be advanced techniques. But on the basic level, you can learn it quickly, and you can hit the floor quickly. You can enjoy the dance, do 4 figures, and you're safe for the evening.
But don't we have the danger of simplifying so much that we end up dancing Kizomba, not Zouk?
Agree. We don't have to. And we don't want that. We don't want it. So let's not simplify in the same steps. We still have to. Okay, let's put it like this. I want to be clear about it. Let's save and maintain and contain the fantastic qualities of Zouk, which is bliss, flow, variety, creativity. Many different styles of music, which is in Kizomba not the case. So we have this variety, but just on the fundamentals, we should have some curriculum, which is the same all over the world. And even I think it would be a good thing, because at one point, I think for marketing, it's good to emphasize the Brazilian connotation and heritage. It's Brazilian, it's sexy, it's everybody wants. But when you look at Zouk, and when a layman, somebody who doesn't know Zouk, looks at Zouk, does he think it's Brazilian? And I think when you look at Lamba, you think yes. But when you look at Rio style, you think no. And so I think we should go a little bit back to a little bit more standardized Brazilian type of moving and create this Brazilian image, not only in the name, Brazilian Zouk, but also inside the dance and inside the marketing. At the same time, create this fundament in technique and figures and fundamental basics. At the same time, I would like to ask the Brazilians, let it go. Once you have the Brazilian image, the Brazilian content and the Brazilian fundament, then let it go, pass it on. Because there are just not enough Brazilian Zouk dancers to teach all over the world. Create a teach-the-teacher course for these fundamentals. Pass it on to everywhere in the world like they did with salsa.
So we're going now to the practical side. We discussed what to do. Now is how to do it.
Exactly. And why.
So how we do that how we create all the standards basic, and how we make the new teachers or the new wannabe teachers to learn the standard thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So these fundamentals, and it can, of course, still these fundamentals can be bigger than the fundamentals of other dance, like tango walk walk walk, or you have in Kizomba the Saida. It can be wider than that. So we have, but at least define something in the fundament, pass that on. So accept foreign teachers, accept that when there are some crazy addicts like us who go to the congresses and like to do the fancy stuff with all the Brazilian guys, because still the really good dancers, the really good teachers, the really fantastic DJs, it's still Brazil. They will not lose that. It's their strength, it's the USP, it will stay that way. And all the inspiration is still coming from Brazil. Fantastic. But at the same time, when you want to have a wider spread dance community, it should be simplified at the basic fundamentals and pass it on to other cultures, like Zumba did. Zumba is standardized, you can get a license, and they just...
Zumba for me is not really a dance.
I agree with that, but it's just about the marketing. And maybe it's too much and too commercial, but we can learn a little thing about it. So maybe some license and some franchise or some merchandising. I'm not saying it should be that bad, but yeah.
With Zumba and also with other related things like CrossFit, you know CrossFit?
Yeah.
Now people all around the world are going crazy about CrossFit. They just are some guys that created a company and created some system that it was there. They only wrote it down and said, okay, this is mine, and you have to pay me to learn that in order to teach it.
Yeah.
So don't you think that would be a bad thing to happen in Zouk?
I would not go that far, because if you over commercialize it, it become hollow. Huh? Then where's the content and where's the real soul? Zouk still has soul. But what I'm saying is that you can learn from it, so not copy it, but learn a bit from it. And so have at least some. So you know these new initiatives like Brazil Zouk petition, the council. That's good initiative, because then we get some definition. And if we don't have definition, it will become blurry, and then we can do anything to any music. And then what is Zouk? So you know, it's difficult subject, because on one hand I prefer this freedom. I love this freedom, and we can go crazy and forget about the cheek. We just dance on the tune, whatever. We dance on lyrical. We dance on hello, whatever. It's all okay, but at least if we go too wide with this, if there's no definition at all, then it becomes everything to nothing, and then it's nothing.
So I guess that we in Zouk, we arrive at the point that we need the big names, and maybe the not so big names but important names in the scene to gather together and create, like you said, a council or an association or an international federation where they can do like other dances did to standardize and everything. But the problem for me is who's to decide who's in and who's out, first of all. And second, on another subject about simplification, is not simplification what Claudio Gomez tried to do with Zouk Love in Holland? And how did that work?
Interesting. I noticed that Zouk Zouk Love by Claudio Gomez was very much appreciated in Holland. People still in love with this guy, and even when he's already gone for 7 years. So he did something. He made a big impact. But maybe it's also a personality thing. So there are more initiatives like that. Normally it has a good effect. Don't oversimplify. Don't overstructure, like in ballroom, like where every lid of the eyebrows already scriptured. Maybe in exaggerating, but I think it's only the basis, because we want to keep this variety and freedom and creativity, which is typical for Zouk, but at least in the fundamentals. Yeah. And yeah, who's in? Gee, my God, yeah. Who's in?
Yeah, that's the problem.
You want names or?
I know definitely who's in. Like, for example, Carlo and Larissa, they are in, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know, Freddy and Andres, Daniel, Leticia, Adilio, of course. Yeah. They are all in.
But how about the young guns? How about the young guns? Bruno, Dadinho, you know?
That's what I was aiming to. Like, where do you draw the line of who decides? Because Dadinho, he's a big name. He has a really nice style, but it's not what you would say standard, right?
The question is it Zouk? But I would like to say, you know, let the Brazilian guys figure it out themselves.
Okay, but I can hear now from Mallorca, Daniel saying like, "Hey, I'm not Brazilian and I have my say in this." You know?
That's true. You're right about that. It should not only be Brazilians. You're right, because there are still some very good people who had made a big impact, a big significance in Zouk, who are not particularly Brazilian. So you're right about that. Maybe we should have an election. And I think one of the things is also, are you a performer, are you a dancer, or are you a teacher? These are three completely different things. And often the mistake, the assumption is made that, oh, he's fantastic on school, on stage. I want to learn that move. But it doesn't guarantee you that this is a good teacher and he can learn the move. But does he take you from beginner level, totally beginner level, to an advanced social dancing level, not on stage, but social dancing, something else. And if you see that, for instance, you talk about Freddy and Andressa, they do this. They are all three. They're a fantastic dancer, they're a fantastic teacher, and they're fantastic performers. This is a rare trait. This is really, really something to admire. Yeah. So, of course, I'm just now talking, sorry if I forget names, because there are more like that, of course. So I'm sorry, I apologize if I forget names, but this
no, I just picked a few that everybody would agree. But also you said like Dadinho, for example, is somebody that not everybody would agree.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
Somebody would say yes, somebody would say no.
Do you have 1 second, because my battery is running empty? 1 second.
Okay. So what's your take on that, Niv?
I think simplification is a good point to start. Okay. But I think we should make like 3 or 4 streams, like MZouk. So from Mallorca has to be like a basic, like fundamental, like simplification, and above that all this advanced stuff. Rio style Zouk, because most of the style that came from Brazilian is Neo Zouk, R&B Zouk, Hip Hop Zouk, but the basic of those Zouk, it's still the Rio style Zouk. And the Lambada Zouk. So I think we should have like 3 or maybe 4 basics, like simplification of all the Zouk. So if someone would like to learn Brazilian Zouk, they have to learn the simple version first, like for beginners.
The fundamentals, yeah.
Yeah, after that they can go more advanced and then learn Neo Zouk or R&B Zouk or whatever kind of Zouk. And if they prefer Lamba Zouk, then they will learn first the simple version, and above that, then the advanced version. So
maybe you can even in the simple versions, you can put all 3, like Neo Zouk and maybe a little bit R&B. You can put Rio as the broad thing, and you can Lambada or Lamba Zouk. In all 3 of them in the fundamentals. And then when you want to go on, then you still, with the fundamentals, you can dance with everybody all over the world. And then when you want to go on, you want to proceed, you can choose. Or you can do all of it, but you can, then you have maybe 3 or 4.
So your idea is to make the basic for the, let's say, the 3 or 4 main families in Zouk, like Rio, Lamba, MZouk. There are 3 clear families that we have. Maybe there's another one that I'm forgetting about. And then you have established the basics of each one, and every teacher should learn the 3 of them
maybe not even put all the different styles in the basics. For instance, if you learn salsa, normally you start to learn salsa on one LA style. Yeah. From LA, if you master that, then you can switch onto New York style.
So you're pushing more for vertical growth and then go into the next style rather than horizontal growth.
So I would just choose one, like for instance Rio style, because Rio seems to be the common basic for everybody. And from Rio style, and I think the Zouk Love and Rio style is more or less the same. And from that basic, and maybe not even use that name, but just call it Brazilian Zouk. And from that basic, you can diversify to Lamba, which is not danced on 1 but on 3. Or you can go to R&B, which is only the one that's 3 in the 5 and the 7, etc. Then you have some diversifications. That would be my idea about it.
So, do you know that if there's some kind of movement between the teachers to create something like that, like a council or a federation that's unifying all of them, or they are trying to do this thing but separately?
Yeah, I think there's something going on. I understood that Kadu and Larissa are mirror sort of copying learning from
West Coast
Swing stuff. But I think what I know about, I read the stuff, but it looks like it's all about Jack and Jill competition. And I think we should take a step back and look at our dance and look at the market situation and think, okay, what can we do to improve the number of social dancing in the world to make Zouk more popular? And to make it more popular, I think it should be a little bit more accessible.
Yeah, because maybe we can approach it from both sides. Like if you create a standard for the competition, like it seems like Kadu and Larissa are trying, maybe that can create a mirror for people to start dancing, aiming to go to that, or we can aim to grow the social base and then go to the competition side. Yeah, which one do you think it will work faster, or we should do both at the same time?
I think we should do both, and probably in the middle you meet each other. But if we only work on the top of the pyramid, the base of the pyramid will be very unstable. So I think the base of the pyramid is the place to start, create a solid fundament. At the same time, we can work on this competition stuff, because there's also the inspiration. When you've done the basics and you fall in love with the dance, you want to do more, then you go to congresses. But it's a congress market, but the schools are suffering. There's not much teaching going on, not much coursing going on, and it means that on the basic it's crumbling, and then there will be an unstable pyramid. So I think we should create something which more even, like for instance, when you are a salsa teacher or a tango teacher. So okay, we have the package. These are the fundamentals for Zouk. You can do this. When you do the 1 week or 2 week teacher course in wherever, which is organized by the council, and then you can hand over to whatever kind of dance teacher. If you want to do more, then go to a specialist. But then you have a wider social base.
Nice. So as you said, it's a very interesting subject, and we could go on for hours. Well, we only have, or we try to keep the episodes to half an hour. So, Nymph, do you think that we could have some time, Larissa or Kadu, trying to explain their project here? Do you think it could be possible?
Yeah.
Good idea.
So we will try to reach out to them, and let's see first if they know about this thing we are doing, the ZoukCast, and then let's try to invite them to explain. Maybe we can go further into the subject.
I'm sure they watch it every week.
Let's hope so, because they are also busy.
Everybody watches it. But it's a very nice project, very nice. But I didn't notice that it's already half an hour passing by. We could indeed do this for hours. So let's meet again, Antonio, and then at the next Congress.
Sure, we'll do it. Okay, so Nymph, do you have anything else to ask Remy or to say yourself?
Yeah, not really. But I think in the future we should also think about like teachers that are getting certified or not certified, or what is proper teacher. Yeah, because you can certified as a Zouk teacher, but does it mean that you have a proper dance education? Do you need it, or is it not necessary? I think we should think about this too.
Yeah, well, that should be something to think about how the certification program goes. Like maybe should have more strict or less strict. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's something for the council to decide, right? Okay, guys. So it was really interesting talk and really nice. Thank you, Remy, for being here and sharing your ideas with us.
Thanks, guys. It was a pleasure. Let's talk some more in the next Congress, which will be Zouk Libre in Warsaw, where I will go. So
I was invited to go, so maybe we can meet there. I have to make, I have to make, how do you call this, juggling with my leave days at work to go to everywhere. But I will try to go definitely. So thank you, Remy. Hope to see you there. Thank you, Nymph.
Yes, thank you. See you next week.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Next week we have.
Yeah, we have a really special guest that we named today.
Yes.
It's Claudio Gomez will be here in ZoukCast.
Ah.
So we will talk a little bit about this kind of simplification that he did with Zouk Love and the success that he had. And let's see if we can extract some good information too from him.
Super.
Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.